Hello YouTube and welcome back to another NHL 25 video. I was thinking last week's content was good, but this content is just much better. The choices of the MSPs this week are just insane. And there is pretty much like not a single card you would say, nah, that's something I would not like to make. Today I will break that all down. We'll also talk about the Fantasy Week 2 and how again we can make a free fantasy card by just playing the game. In general, there is a lot of issues with the game and Hockey Ultimate Team particularly, but this content drop the last 2 weeks was just being insane. As always guys, if you're new to the channel, please smash that like button and subscribe, and let me know down in the comment sections below, are you making any of the fantasy cards and who is your favorite? So this week's fantasy MSPs will be Vincent Trocheck, Anze Kopitar, Mattias Ekholm, Colton Parayko, and Jordan Eberle. No need to say that all 5 master set items are actually really good. We also have the base fantasy cards this week, and to be honest, if I have to look at them, week 1 was much stronger than week 2. We have Jason Zucker, Seth Jones, Damon Severson, Linus Sundin, which is this week's Repo, Fabian Zetterlund, JT Kompar, Ryan Strome, Eric Howla, Anthony Sorelli, and Michael Backlund. Same as last week, there are no any changes to the actual sets, so if you want to make any of the MSP fantasy cards, you need 40 collectibles. That includes pretty much every single one. And if you want to make, let's say, just any of the base ones, you go here, and you can choose any player you want, and you also need 40 fantasy collectibles. It's the most expensive event, but if there is a player you really like, or the player from your favorite team, and you can afford it, and let's say you're sitting on 1 million coins and don't know what to do, then this is the event I suggest you go and spend your coins, because why would you need coins? That's exactly what I will do. I have 1.2 million coins and I will make a fantasy card because New York Rangers are getting a good one. And of course, same as last week, we also have a B&D set where you have to trade in 16 collectibles and you can get a random base fantasy card. Unfortunately, we cannot pull the MSPs, so probably this week I would say, guys, if you can get the 16 collectibles and you have some coins, I would not suggest you make this set because week 1 base fantasy cards were much stronger than week 2, and I would not say that there is a single card who will be like, oh my god, it's incredible. There is a lot of good options. There are a few good cards, but week 1 was much better. So if you get 16 collectibles, I probably would suggest you spend coins and go after one of the masters, or just make the card you really want. Now let's look at the fantasy master items. Colton Parayko, not a bad one with a Heat Seeker, 82 overall. You can technically use him right now, but that speed is just really noticeable. And even if you activate two-way defenseman, his shooting and hands are not that great. But will he score quite a lot of goals? I'm pretty sure so. Very soon, hopefully this card will be usable. Next one will be Jordan Eberle, again 82 overall right-handed winger with sniping forward. If you activate, you can get the shooting stats quite high. Beauty backhand, I don't think it's worth 2 ability points because every single zone ability costs 2 ability points this year, which is quite stupid. But again, if it's your favorite player, you're a Seattle Kraken fan, this card looks good. 83 speed, 85 acceleration, you technically can use him already, but probably if you have 1 million coins, you also have a much better team. Then we have Mattias Ekholm, quite a big left-handed defenseman. I probably would say if he goes off and let's say gets to the 90 overalls, this card will be insane. At the moment, only 81 speed, 80 acceleration, and that thunderclap. The hands and shooting also not really good. Even at 81 overall, I would probably suggest you keep him out of your lineup as far as he's not your favorite player because he will not be able to race. He will not even be able to really score any D2Ds. And then in my opinion, the best MSP for week 2 fantasy event, Anze Kopitar. You can use him in a center or on a wing. I probably use him in a center, to be honest. Two-way forward, if you activate it now, even at 78 overall, you can get his face-off stats all the way up to the 80. Speed and acceleration is shocking. Shooting and hands, also bad. But he have close quarters, and we all know that close quarters this year are actually OP. This basically brings back the NHL 23 vibes when close quarters were OP, make it snappy didn't exist. I'm very confident that Anze Kopitar will score a lot of goals, and this card will probably get to the 85 very soon. If you didn't make anyone last week, and this week there is not a single player you would really like to make, or there is not your favorite team, for example, and you still want to make one fantasy card, in my opinion, Anze Kopitar would be really the safest bet, and also this card will be insane as soon as he gets to the, let's say, 85, 86 overall. And then we have Vincent Trocheck from New York Rangers, another great card, but why I think Anze Kopitar is better, because Vincent Trocheck have it make it snappy, where Anze Kopitar have close quarters. Otherwise, these cards are pretty much identical. The only difference is then Anze Kopitar is bigger than Vince Trocheck, but I'm a New York Rangers fan, so I will make him. 84 speed, 81 acceleration, shooting and hands are terrible in my opinion, but again, we're talking about 78 overall cards, so not that I was expecting him to be like 85 speed and shooting and hands to be all the late 90s. Last season, I think he scored around 24 goals. He need 21 goals this year to get to the 99. He's a really good goal scorer, and I believe then if he scores, let's say, around 5 goals, this card is good. So hopefully New York Rangers go hot, he scores a lot of goals, and I can actually put him in my lineup very soon. We also have Anthony Sorelli from Tampa Bay Lightning, another very usable card. 86 speed, 84 acceleration, the shooting and hands are actually good, and close quarters. Probably if you don't have any card and you want to make one base card, or you're doing that B&D set, this would be the card I probably would pray to pull, because first of all, he's having a really great start of the season. He will probably score a lot of goals, and I probably would say this is the safest bet from all the base cards this week. We also have JD Compare from Detroit Red Wings. Not the best choice, of course, but again, two-way forward, you can boost some of his attributes, make it snappy. I just think Detroit had like way more players to choose from than JT Compher. The same thing goes about Ryan Strome from Anaheim Ducks. There is so many good players, but they choose Ryan Strome. With playmaking forward, you can use him in your lineup now because the speed, shooting, and hands are good. Also, he has Schneip. I'm using Vladimir Tarasenko with Schneip, and to be honest, once you get closer to the net and go with that wrist shot, you actually notice the ability a lot. Is it worth 2 ability points? I would probably say no. But again, if you are a Ducks fan and you want to make one card, then this is the card to make. Then we have Sharks player Fabian Zetterland. Probably, again, I was expecting to see Toffoli or someone else, but if you're a Sharks fan, so sorry sleeves, this card will probably score enough goals to get to the 99. Will it happen quickly? I don't know. But at the same time, he also has Schneip. You can technically use him in your lineup already, but probably some of the free cards you're getting in the game are much better. Same thing goes about the Backlund from Calgary Flames. Close quarters is a really good ability, like I already mentioned. Also two-way forward, so you will be able to boost the face-off stats as the card will go up during the year. Will he score enough goals? I'm very confident. Will he get to the 99? It's questionable, but he definitely will be a card you'll be able to use. Not really sure about New Jersey Devils' choice. Eric Howell, center or left-handed winger with playmaking forward. You can use him in this lineup now because 88 speed, 87 acceleration, the shooting is about 82, the hands are good. It's just like the player choice. There is so many good players you could choose. Give Luke Hughes a card or someone else. Again, Luke Hughes would probably be stupid because he just recently get an MSP. But why don't give, I don't know, a card to Markstrom? Would be nice to see a goalie. He also have make it snappy, but I think close quarters would be better. Another safe choice is Seth Jones. He plays every single game, every single minute, 81 overall right-handed defenseman, and if you use his 82 overall cover athlete card, you know, then he scores a lot of goals from the point. Defensemen are just so OP this year, and two-way defenseman with that heat seeker will be a great card. We also have Damon Severson from Columbus Blue Jackets, two-way defenseman with seeing eye. Technically, the skating stats are not bad, 81 overall, but the shooting and hands could be better. But at the same time, I'm using 83 overall Jacob Trouba, and his stats are pretty much identical, and he scores so many goals from the blue line. And this week's European player is Linus Sundin. I don't know anything about this player. I don't know even how many goals he scored. The skating is okay, the shooting and hands, again, 82 overall, so probably could be better. We'd make it snappy. Let me know down in the comment sections below if you're watching any European hockey. Is this player good? Will he score enough goals to get it, let's say, at least to the 95? Because if anyone does the B&D set and pulls this guy, I knew about Repo. Obviously, I could just Google the stats, but would be nice to know if Linus Sundin is better than Repo. The next one will be Jason Zucker from Buffalo Sabres. Again, you could possibly choose a better player, two-way forward with that 1T. 1T is great. I don't know even how many goals he scores without actually looking at the stats. Don't really hear a lot about him. If you're a fan of the team and you are watching every single game, then probably why not pick up the card, but definitely you cannot reuse him right now. Then we also have a player from Utah, Lawson Cruz. I think that's how you pronounce his surname. Power forward with close quarters. At 76 overall, I didn't even know we had 76 overall cards. I'm assuming he's scoring quite a lot of goals if his overall is lower. Not bad skating, not bad shooting, and not bad hands considering his overall. Is he scoring a lot of goals? I probably need to go and look at his stats, but he's quite a big guy. If this card gets, let's say, to the 83, 84, it's a very usable card. And the last one is Ryan Hartman from Minnesota Wilds. Two-way forward with Crease Crusher. Like, why Crease Crusher? Maybe there is something I don't know about the player. 81 speed, 80 acceleration, shooting and hands are awful. Probably I would not suggest you use him in your lineup. 75 overall. Again, I'm assuming he scores a lot of goals, otherwise why his overall is so low. Other than that, if you're a Minnesota Wilds fan, pick up the card if you like to watch the games as well. Same as last week, we get 16 collectibles for free by just playing the game. So I probably would say you need to start in moments. And by completing 6 moments, I think it's 6 in total, you get 2 fantasy collectibles. It doesn't take really that much time to actually complete them. I think I had to play 2 games because I stink in the game. So I won the game in the first one and then I score, I think 3 goals. Yes, 3 goals, that's what you need to score and get my 2 fantasy collectibles. So once you're done with the moments and you get your first 2 fantasy collectibles, have a look at the actual objectives and what you need to do. Because Fantasy Hockey Week 2, by completing every single objective, you get yourself 11 fantasy collectibles. You cannot complete it before you open 4 daily reward packs, so it will take some time if you don't want to spend any of your fodder or coins, perform any deeks with supernatural players, so you need to use these players. And you can actually get another one for free as well this week. So if you go to the Supernatural Week 2 objectives, by completing one set, you get another 80 overall Adam Lowry untradeable card. So we get Anthony Manta from week 1 and we get Adam Lowry from week 2. So that's already 2 cards you can use to complete the objectives. So if we go back to the fantasy, you do have 30 games you need to play. So with 2 players, you only need to play 15 games. If you put another player, that's only 10 games. So just go into the squad battles on semi-pro difficulty, because in that way you can also do the competitive objectives if you want to do them all at the same time. Play the games, score enough goals, take perfect one-timer shots. So I probably would suggest you go and try to get, let's say, a defenseman, and we will talk about the Supernatural event in a second, and there is one perfect defenseman to go after. Take shots with any Supernatural player. All these objectives doesn't take you that long time. I played a game for around like 2-3 days last week, and I completed them all in squad battles, rivals, or any mode I was playing. So if we go back to the Supernatural Week 2, by completing one set, we get a card. He's definitely not Anthony Manta from last week, but at 6.5, two-way forward, really good card to put in your lineup and just grind those games out. Will he score a lot of goals? Probably not, but he's only there for the games played. And now let's talk about the Supernatural event, one of the best MSPs I remember actually in this video game. We have Carey Price, Erik Karlsson, Zdeno Chara, Leon Draisaitl, and Tage Thompson. And not only the player choice is good, the stats are also good. Every single card released yesterday is actually usable. You can put him in your team and just enjoy the gameplay. Obviously, in my opinion, Zdeno Chara is a must-make card. I don't really like to say must-make on any cards because you have to use the cards you like, but because the timer runs out on Friday and you cannot make these cards anymore. Not only you cannot make the cards, you cannot even make the tokens. So if there is one card you will really notice a huge difference in your lineup, it's Zdeno Chara. We also have a bunch of Supernatural base cards. In my opinion, maybe Sebastian Aho, Devon Taves, or maybe Adrian Kempe would make a difference, or maybe even Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen would make a difference if you want to use him as a goalie. What I like about this year is when you look at the 80 overalls, 81s, 82s, 83s, 84s, they all have a decent stats. So there are cards at 80 overall like Anthony Manta last week. You can actually put him in your team, play the games, and a lot of people are just sleeping on these cards. If you pull any of these 80, 81s, 82s, or whatever overall you're pulling in the pack, let's say by playing the game, just have a look at the stats. Don't just look at the overall. Some of the cards actually plays way better than the stats or overall indicates. Let's start with Erik Karlsson. Defensive defenseman, if you activate the synergy, the shooting stats are great. He also have elite edges, decent speed, decent acceleration, the hands are great. He will be a machine to score from the point. The only issue I have about Erik Karlsson card, on a paper great card, will make a huge difference in your team, score a lot of goals from the blue line, but if you already have cover athlete Cale Makar or maybe Adam Fox captain's card, then you have to make a decision where you put him. Do you really want to put Adam Fox if it's like in your lineup who is so expensive in your third defensive pair, or do you want to demote Makar? I probably would use Erik Karlsson on my first line, Makar on my third, and then let's say Fox on my second, if those would be the cards I would have. Next one is Tage Thompson with power forward. Maybe I would not use him in a center position because of his face-off stats, but he always plays great on the wing. Shooting, awesome. Hands, awesome for the overall. The only thing I don't understand is the big rig. One thing about Tage Thompson, and for people who played the game last year and year before, his cards always plays much better than his stats. Another good card this week is Carey Price. Carey Price cards always plays better than any other goalie. Even yes, his speed is only 84, aggression is 57. He does have a light work, but who even knows what abilities are actually important for the goalkeepers this year, because they're all flopping around, they're letting in muffins, and in general playing awful. But hey, Carey Price on the paper looks like a great card, and if I would be able to actually try him out, I would definitely do that. The next one is Zdeno Chara. No need to say that 6.9 defenseman in your lineup will make a difference. One thing I also want to point out is the speed. When did you saw 85 overall Zdeno Chara with 86 speed? The shooting is good, the hands are okay, maybe not the best, but while I was playing the moments and I needed to score goals with this card, he played way better than the stats indicated. Also, the truculence. If you are someone who really likes bigger players, go for the hits, please make this card. Like, you will definitely not regret it. And the last one is Leon Draisaitl. I actually love that Leon Draisaitl is getting card early. Also, with sniping forward, you can get the shooting stats up. Like, look at the shooting stats, look at the hands, even the skating is good. And with this 1T, 100% you will score so many goals from the face of circles. Like I said, I don't think there is a single MSP this week where you could say like, the card is not that good. There is a card for everyone. If you are looking for a right-handed defenseman, you have one. If you need a left-handed defenseman, you have one. If you need a center, winger, anyone, even a goalie is great. So for people who have a lot of fodder or spends a lot of money, this is the best event to actually use all your fodder and make these cards. If you look at the base Supernatural cards, then Sebastian Aho, really good face-off stats. At 84, you can use him in a center. Also decent skating, decent shooting. I think a lot of people will sleep on this card because of his size, but 86 face-off stats, this early in the game is really noticeable. Same about Devon Taves, two-way defenseman with decent skating, decent shooting, and decent hands. He will definitely score quite a lot of goals from the blue line with this Thunderclap activated, and it's only one ability point. And this 83 overall Adrian Kempe as well. Skating good, shooting good, hands good, two-way forward, really good card at 83 overall. He probably will go for quite a lot because of the shooting and hand stats, but if you are trying to grind out the objectives and score goals or do any of the stuff you need, then Adrian Kempe could be a really good option to buy and try out. And if you're looking for a defenseman to pair up with Zdeno Chara, Tyler Miller's 80 overall, but the skating is okay for his overall, shooting and hands are also okay for the overall. These two guys, Zdeno Chara and Tyler Miller's, are just giants and they will score so many goals. I also want to see how anyone will even cross the blue line with these two guys on there. Same as last week, you need 4 collectibles to make any of these MSPs. They will start at 80 overall, and then you need 15 tokens to upgrade them all the way to the 85. To make tokens, you basically have to go here. Make sure you don't make a mistake, and instead of tokens, you don't make collectibles because the sets look identical. Also, because it's all new, a lot of people I saw on Reddit on X making this mistake, so make sure you read it. And then you have to trade in your fodder basically, so if you need 3 tokens, and this is quite expensive, but it's actually worth it, 1 token will cost you around 20k, so you have to trade in 380 plus overall cards and you get 2 tokens. That's a lot. But don't worry, if you didn't make an MSP last week and you are just grinding the game, and you will also complete it today. So last week we get 9 tokens, this week we also get 9 tokens. So that's enough to fully max out one of the MSPs. You also will get enough collectibles to make one of the MSPs. So EA is doing this again. By just playing the game, between 2 weeks we can get 185 overall card of our choice absolutely for free. And this is what I like. So if you're no money spent player and you still play all these games anyway and complete the objectives, there is always an opportunity for you to improve your team. So if you're looking how to get your 9 tokens, basically all you have to do, you have to complete the moments, and they literally took me around 20 minutes. Leon Draisaitl basically few, and then Zdeno Chara. And by completing every single moment from week 2, you get 2 tokens. After you will get 4 tokens by completing the objectives, so you have to do open 2 daily packs, perform any digs, score goals with any supernatural, so you have to do that 10 times and then 25 times, complete 50 games. So this is why it's very important you try to do fantasy and supernatural objectives at the same time, and maybe even include weekly competitive, so you can do 3 objectives at the same time in squad battles. I hate playing squad battles, but unfortunately that's the quickest way you can do it. As you can see, I already completed 4 out of 9, and I didn't even play a single game. I just basically played moments, so you can complete some of these objectives in moments as well. So obviously we completed the set for that free card. I did all the passes in the moments, I take all the shots in the moments, and I also get the shoulder checks in the moments. You can also perform any digs in the moments if you want, so that's another thing you can complete by just playing the moments. Score goals, unfortunately you need to do it in squad battles or rivals or champs, and same about the playing games. And the last place where we get the remaining tokens and remaining fantasy collectibles will be wildcard. As every Friday they release new wildcard, and to be honest, it's not bad. If you look at the wildcard this week, you get 1 XP token, so you can use that to upgrade one of the XP cards. We also get some random cards. We get fantasy collectible, we get supernatural token, another fantasy collectible, another token, another fantasy collectible. So yes, by completing the wildcard you get another 3 collectibles for the fantasy event and 2 tokens to upgrade one of your MSP. And by completing everything you get a random 83 overall team builder. I know I heard a lot of negativity about it, but if you put that in a value, it's actually quite a lot. They gave us enough X factors for us to make pretty much like the first captain. Now they're starting to do that with the team builders, and I like it. By completing the moments, I think we got 2 team builders, so by completing the wildcard we get 3. And you need 6 to make an 86 overall team builder. I would not rush and trade in your fodder or any other cards for the remaining team builders you need. I have a feeling that they will just keep putting these 83 overall team builders in objectives and wildcards and stuff like that. So by just playing the game at your own pace, you probably will be able to make the first 86 overall team builder in a few weeks. And I know also a lot of people complain how sweaty the wildcard is. It's not like easy, but even if you win or lose, it doesn't take you a lot of time. Basically, wildcard for me is 1 stream, and I usually stream around 3 hours, so considering I read the chat, I talk to the people, it's not that long, and I still prefer wildcard more than Rush last year. I'll do a separate video talking about all the fantasy cards and who I believe will get to the 99 first, like I did with week 1. I hope you enjoyed today's video, have a good one, and see you on the ice.